This is All Things Considered from NPR News. More than 100 world-class entrants will compete in the 17 categories of the World Beard and Mustache Championships.
I was overwhelmed. I had no idea it was quite the spectacular thing it was.
The categories include 8 kinds of mustache, 4 types of goatee or other partial beard, and then 5 types of full beard.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first World Beard and Mustache Championships ever held in America.
It was amazing because there was 14 countries that walked in with their pride, their flags, and it was amazing.
Anytime you compete in something, there are certainly people who are serious about doing that, and to me, that's what it's all about.
USA! USA! USA!
Yeah, it's like any competition, and it means a lot to the folks that are involved, and I hope it grows and becomes something really big.
There could be no more important patriotic endeavor than to support the United States of America at the World Beard and Mustache Championships.
I think it's true to say that the beard moustache movement has been a European thing until fairly recently. But right back in 97, a chap called Bruce Rowe, an American, went to the Norwegian Championships.
I was the first American to compete in any World Beard and Mustache competition. The first 2, I was the only American. The first time I went to one of these competitions was in Norway, and I didn't know about costumes, so I just went in jacket and tie. But then all these guys have great costumes, so the next time I went to Germany, I figured what I needed an American costume. And once I recognized how much fun these European people are having, I thought, we need to be doing this in the U.S. So I came back, founded the club, and the rest is history.
Bruce was in the event in Sweden, of course, in 1999. And at that event, there was another chap from America, a chap called Phil Olson.
Here we have the DVD from 2 years ago. And actually, we have about 1,000 of them, if anyone wants 1,000 of them. And here they are, all stacked up, ready to go. And we also still have beer mugs in the car. I carry these around just in case I want to have a beer someplace. And I have several cases of them in the garage. Since I've had this beard this long like this, which is several years now, so many people come up to me and compliment me. But also, all these people who I don't know come up to me and say, "Hi, Phil," and they all know me. They remember me because of the beard, and I don't remember them. It distinguishes me from the crowd.
In the competition in Ystad, Sweden, I believe that was 1999, we ran into Phil. He was traveling in Germany and met some folks.
Is anyone planning to go to Dachau?
Who were headed for the competition, and he just kind of tagged along, and of course the rest is history.
Phil went on from there to organize the World Championships in 2003 in America. He did a remarkable job. Most of the championships have been organized by a club, but he essentially did it all on his own.
I don't believe Phil has a club at this point in time that I'm aware of, that he has a club. He might be a member of...
I don't believe he's a member of any club.
Any club. Yeah, I don't think he's a member of any club.
Actually, there are 2 main beard clubs in the United States, the Whisker Club and Beard Team USA. Beard Team USA is bigger than the Whisker Club. The Whisker Club claims on its website to have 70 members, so that makes Beard Team USA almost 3 times the size.
When we competed in Carson City, everybody from the U.S. he listed as Team USA. Now, that's not really a club. I just figured it's you're from the U.S. or you're part of Team USA.
Bruce Rowe hates Team USA. Bruce does have a different way of looking at all of these things from the way I look at them.
And now the people listed in going to Berlin may be listed, if they're not Whisker Club, they may be listed as Team USA. Is that a club? Not that we can come up with, no.
I've made a point of saying that anyone who wants to be a member of Beard Team USA can be a member. There are no qualifications. Also, no one's required to pay dues. The Whisker Club wants to maintain its exclusivity and therefore has an application process. The application is then either accepted or rejected, and also anyone who's a member has to pay $20 per year, I believe it is, annual dues. So at least that's what the website says.
You know, you get into that leadership thing, that's a big deal, you know, and you just can't go around, you know, on your ego trip.
My next guest is the World Beard and Mustache Champion in the highly competitive Musketeer division. Please welcome Gary Johnson. This is gorgeous.
Yeah. Well, it's...
Yeah. Now this is serious stuff. Let's get into this.
You bet. This world champion, you know, competition and everything is about your background, where you're from, and how you perceive you want to look. When I was about 17 years old, this is what I pictured me as being in this ring of fire that I couldn't get out of, that the first thing was getting out of the house, which I figured was like being in prison. So you finally got out, okay? And then you're out there with life. And this is that ring of fire that you're in. You know, when you talk about the presidency and the vice presidency and the club and all that, I've been involved in that before, and that just isn't my cup of tea.
Now I have this problem, whether I should send Gary Johnson a Team USA t-shirt. Because if I do, Bruce will get mad at me for saying that Gary's on Team USA.
Gary is a member of the Whisker Club.
And
I'm not going to say any more on camera.
And if I send him a t-shirt, there's the risk that he'll be pissed off because he's not on Team USA. And if I don't send him a t-shirt, there's a risk that he'll be pissed off because he didn't get a t-shirt.
Personally, it's Bruce for me. He's rude,
We're a little late, but why don't we go ahead and get started? We're hoping for better attendance. We kind of got that, but not really.
Are you going to have clear definitions on what is expected of a president, a vice president, secretary/treasurer?
One step at a time.
Bruce wants to run the whole show. He wants to set everybody's scene.
Typically, hamburgers are more popular than hot dogs, I would think. So are we in agreement that the Whisker Club will purchase hamburgers, buns, and condiments?
We got asked to go over to fucking Seattle to the Fisherman's Market over there. The camera guy come down, and then he was just doing an interview, and he had a mic. We started out things, and then Brucey interrupts him. Well, don't you think we ought to be over here? And maybe we ought to get that camera guy to move over here a little bit. And I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at him. I says, hey, Bruce, this guy does this shit for a living. Why don't you back off, leave him alone? He turns around to me and he tells me, he says, it's my job to worry about stuff like this.
He's going to tell you how he wants it done. I can almost bet money on that.
We shoot this right, so I stand in the foreground. I will look much taller than the car, especially if you shoot from lower, right?
We're going to the meeting, which is in Gelnhausen. See, we're in Fulda, and we're going to Gelnhausen. All the big names in the German beard world will be there today. This is a meeting of the elite, so to speak. Probably Hans Gossner will be there. He was the winner in full beard freestyle in Carson City. Jürgen Burkhardt will be there, and Franz Mitterhauser. Both Jürgen and Franz have what the Germans call toilet paper rolls. Personally, I find it a bit unusual or unfair that the Germans dictate the rules and then call it the World Championships. My idea is that everyone who wants to participate should fit into some category.
And what about the sideburns? What about the whiskers?
That would count.
The Hoofen Club was the first club to ever have a world championship, and they're the ones that set down the standards for the different categories and classes. And a lot of people think it is simply size, and that is not at all the case. In some cases it is, but predominantly it's how it meets the description, how it looks on you, and I always think of the costume as maybe a tiebreaker.
In mustaches, freestyle, natural, Chinese, Hungarian, imperial, English, Dolly. Beards, it's Verdi, Garibaldi, freestyle, and natural. A lot of men do natural.
I use styling products, hairspray, to form it into a shape that I like. But if you use hairspray, you're only allowed to compete in the freestyle division. And in the freestyle division, there will be people with huge curls and just wacky styles who I will be forced to compete against.
All right, we'll see you later.
Yep.
Right on. Yeah.
I know you'll have fun, so.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is for all the nickels here, though.
All the nickels.
Yep.
Okay.
The whole stack.
Bye.
So we'll be loading the plane here in a minute and headed off to Frankfurt. 8-hour flight. Hopefully we get some sleep on the way, because we're going to go when we get to Germany. I'm Bob. Bob. Pleasure to meet you, Bob. You know me, I'm recruiting even at the airport.
It's the U.S. Airways attaché. We have a picture of the famous Phil Olsen down here. And it talks about him organizing the 2003 competition.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising to see it in the magazine. I was asleep when she woke in to show me.
I'd like to welcome you all to Frankfurt. Please remain seated until we've come to a complete stop. We would also like to welcome the USA Beard team, who will be competing in the World Beard and Mustache Championships next Saturday in Berlin.
Team USA is hoping to upset the dominant German team. We're hoping for a repeat of 1945, where the USA beat Germany in Germany. Welcome to Berlin. Willkommen in Berlin. Hey! Hallo, Lutz! Pretty nice, huh? Yeah.
Music, press, that's the way it should be.
It says Berlin this way, so we're going to follow the sign.
We needed to not get on here. We needed to keep going that direction we were going.
I thought 9 took us all the way.
We're not on 9.
This is the long way?
Yeah.
Well, then I guess the sign that I'm looking at that says we're on 9 or going to 9 must be incorrect. Yeah, at this rate, it'll take us 40 hours to get there.
Poor old Bruce, I'll tell you what, that poor guy is nervous wreck. Jesus, that guy worries about stuff.
I hope you enjoyed your stay till now, and I hope you will enjoy your stay for the next days. There are about 225 starters coming from about 20 countries. And this is a very big success for us, that all of you came from so different countries here to Berlin. And thanks for coming. Enjoy yourself.
And
Well, how nice pleasure to see you. I can't see what he says.
It says Whisker Club.
Oh, Whisker Club.
My name is Lassad Damani. I come out Tunisia.
My good old friend.
Good old friend?
Yeah.
Rocco Bentivoglio, vengo da Grottaglie, Italia.
Are you planning to do anything special with your beard?
Should I? I was just going to go full beard natural, but then I saw a couple guys. There's some bearded stallions here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Steve Parsons from England, member of the Handlebar Club.
Sir, nice to see you.
Nice to see you. It's been so long.
Yes.
I think about you all the time.
I came from the club Moustache from Germany.
What do you usually do? Do you wash it? Do you condition it?
I wash it, I condition. I don't have any conditioner here.
Oh, I have some if you want it. How about this? As coach, I'll come over and you and I will we'll work on your beard.
Okay.
What time do you want to get up?
And how are you?
Oh, fine.
I don't remember your face.
My face?
Yeah.
I am Max Klaus.
Max Klaus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
My name is Jim Henderson. I work for the Anchorage Convention and Visitors Bureau. The only thing I hate about my job is I can't tell when I'm working and when I'm not. Now, the thing is, I'm here pursuing the International Beard and Mustache Championships, and you know what? Occasionally in my job, I have to include a beard, but then again, in Germany, if you want to connect, you better go with the locals.
Jim, this is Bruce Rowe. Bruce is president of the Whisker Club in Washington.
We're trying to stay out of the fray, stay out of their internal politics, and get them to select us as the site for 2009.
We got some nice options on the table.
There's more going on in Alaska than just the Iditarod.
We're going to stand at 2 o'clock on Sunday, so...
The whole thing will be culminated by dancing to a polka band on the Bearded Beer Train, which I'll tell you what, it might become an international phenomenon.
I am in Berlin on the day of the World Beard and Mustache Championship, and I'm soon going to prepare this scraggly-looking thing on the upper lip for the competition.
Phil is, I think, a little concerned, a little tense. Mentioned some young 22-year-old gentleman with a full beard that he thinks is a rising star, I think is what he called him.
Yeah. See, this is what I was talking about, how you get a bunch of them that all gather together.
I wish they didn't have that rule about no artificial styling aids, because I could put some hairspray on this and just get it perfect. I just noticed how wrinkled this is. I'm hoping that I can steam it up in the shower.
What do you see?
Let's put your tie on. It's kind of amazing to watch all the pomp and circumstance of this kind of a thing.
I have to do some fine trimming on the ends.
I don't want to overspray it, although I've almost found that more is more in this situation.
Turn to me again in the sunlight. I don't know what else you're going to do other than have fun on stage.
It's absolutely true.
I don't know, what do you think? Think I'm world champion material or not? Huh?
Men, Americans love the sting and the clash of battle. Woo! There's one great thing that you men will be able to say after these championships are over. You will be thankful that 20 years from now, when you are sitting by the fireplace with your grandson, and he asks you what you did during the World Beard and Mustache Championships in Berlin, you won't have to cough, shift into the other knee and say, well, your granddaddy shoveled shit in Louisiana. No, sir. You can look him straight in the eye and say, your granddaddy rode to victory with the great Team USA! Okay, let's go on and get him! USA! 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 USA!
Phil, where do we go?
Team USA, if we want to march in together, come on over.
Dankeschön for everything.
Of course.
And good luck yourself up there.
Thank you.
The number 16, please. Gary Johnson. 8.5, 10, 9.5, 9. Thank you. Starter number 15, Herr Phil Olsen. 8.5, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. Thank you. Please roll with the number 1, 8,4, 9,5, 9,5, 9, 9, 9,5, 9. Thank you very much. Dankeschön.
The competition today is the toughest I have ever seen.
Auf dem dritten Platz, auch hier wieder äußerst knapp, Bruce Rowe vom Barclub Whisker Barclub aus den USA mit 46 Punkten.
Thank you for coming.
You bet.
Yes, and we see us in the future.
You betcha.
Yes.
No problem.
Okay.
You take care of yourself.
We found out later that old Ted Sedman, he stepped down. They figured that was a pretty good opportunity to go ahead and vote in a new president.
I've said that I'd stand down at the meeting, and
hopefully we'll find someone else to take over.
I have a question for you. Ted wants to resign as president. Do you have anybody in mind?
No, I don't.
I have somebody in mind.
From my point of view, it seems to me that Bruce has put a lot of effort into the Whisker Club without really getting much done. It's whether he's the big shot in America or I'm the big shot in America.
I was hoping there would be more people here, but thank you for coming. I'm Ted Sedman. I'm currently the president of the World Beard and Moustache Association. Phil Olsen is the North American coordinator for the association.
We have 2 representatives with us today from the Visitors and Conventions Bureau at Anchorage, Alaska.
I think it'd be a real kick and a real treat and an honor for us to have you come up and host this championship in Anchorage, Alaska.
Wild about Anchorage, wild about Anchorage.
Okay, we moved.
Okay. Would anyone like to propose who should be the president for the next 2 years, I suppose?
Heinz says he nominates me.
Phil, are you prepared to accept the nomination?
Yes.
Und wird Bruce Rowe vom Whisker Club vorschlagen.
Jörg would also like to nominate an American, and therefore he is nominating Bruce Rowe.
Bruce, are you prepared to accept the nomination?
Yeah. Every club has 1 vote.
Yes, who's the new president?
Who is Herfen voting for?
Bruce.
You vote for Bruce or for...
For Bruce?
Yeah, sorry. For Bruce or for Phil?
Oh, fuck. If you say Bruce...
Phil. It was very close. And...
Who?
Bruce.
Bruce has been elected to be the new president.
Jesus fucking balls. I don't fucking believe that. That's about the stupidest thing that any human being in any country could do.
Can we have a toast? A toast to our new president.
Wild about Anchorage, nothing can change my mind.
He just was voted he was just voted the president of the WBMA.
Wild about Anchorage, it's a marvelous find.
I am to the World Beard and Mustache Championships what Pope John Paul II was to the fall of communism.
Wild.
Whisker.
Oh, whisker.
These are whisker.
Whisker. Oh, whisker.
Wild about